What is going on, guys? This is Miasin. So with Snake Eyes actually being extremely relevant and powerful in Phantom Nightmare, everybody is going to try to incorporate the level 1 fire engines in their deck. And one of the really good ones that you can play, if not one of the most powerful ones, not necessarily like consistent or reliable, but powerful, would be the Evo engine. And I really wanted to make a video on that because you can do so much with one single card. It's not even funny, and it beats just about any kind of deck, because you're making like actual big negates that, nobody can really win against. Your opponent can have all kinds of board breakers and it's not going to be enough. One single Snake Eye Ash plus any discard is going to be leading to 6 to 7 interruptions, which is seriously no joke. But before we go any further, I would really appreciate you if you could smash the like and subscribe button. I'm really going out of my way to make the combo video and deck profile at the exact same time. So let's try to aim 1,000 likes. I know we can do it. And if we can actually get there, I will be making a live stream on this deck. So you already know what to do, and now let's get right into combo number 1. Alrighty, so one single Snake Eye Ash plus any discard, look at what you can do. So normal summon, and then use the effect to search the Populace. And then, of course, that summons itself to search the 1-for-1 spell card. The very beginning is the exact same. And then you're going to be transforming yourself into an Oak, and then revive back the Ash, and then Populace effect as well. So you're placing a few monsters in order to be able to transform into Flamberge. And this card obviously is insane. And then you're going to be going into Masquerena, revive back 2 monsters with the Flamberge, go into the Promethean Princess, and then summon back the Flamberge, place the Masquerena, and this is where it gets interesting. Instead of making a Link 2 or Link 4 like an Amblo Whale I actually think completely sucks. It doesn't really do anything. Actually, it's a Link 4 monster that, if anything, only turns on your opponent's like Shaddoll Fusion and stuff. But here we can actually do something really interesting with this original Sinful Spell Snake Eye. We can transform that Promethean Princess into... what is it gonna be? It's gonna be Evil Tile Mega Chirila. I don't even know the name. I just know it's the level 1 Evo that transforms itself into a level 6 or lower dinosaur monster from the deck. Well, level 6 or lower fire. So now we're going to be going into the Leos, which is the really good one. When it's normal special summon, well, if... okay, whoa, yak sign, oh my god. You can set an Evil Evolutionary Bridge... no. Or Evil Singularity directly from your deck. There you go, yeah. Evil Singularity is the one we're trying to get, not the bridge. So yeah, this card is really insane. It's kind of similar to, not really Tri-Brigade Revolt, but kind of. So you're basically going to be targeting an Evil Tile monster and an Evil Zora monster in your grave, and then you special summon an Evil Zara Xyz from your extra deck, and then you attach those monsters as materials. So even if we get Nibiru now, it's not going to change anything because we're still going to have the Evil Singularity into the thingy. And also the Flamberge is going to float in order to summon 2 monsters. But anyways, the Leos is going to be targeting the Flamberge and the Populace to make them level 4 dinosaur monster because you're using the Foolish Burial effect. So this is going to make us have access to Evil Zor, Lagia, or Dolka. And if we go for a Dolka, then we know for a fact that Nibiru is no longer a threat. But if we can go for a Lagia here, I mean, that's going to be another negate on the opponent's turn, or a Solemn Warning, which is actually pretty insane. So yeah, Lagia is very annoying to deal with. And we have Singularity as well as the Flamberge with Masquerena and the Promethean Princess in Grave. So look at how it's going to play out. So on the opponent's turn, obviously we're going to be passing turn. The first thing that our opponent will try to do, activate a spell card. We can just negate that. And then we can go Evil Singularity in order to summon the Evil Zora or Lars from the extra deck and then attach 2 materials underneath. And the beauty about Evil Zora Lars is that if you're summoning it with its like own archetype, like the reptile and or dinosaur monsters, the negate only has to detach 1 material. And this card is not once per turn whatsoever. You can use its negation effect infinite times per turn as long as you have materials, which is absolutely filthy because we only have to detach 1, so we can keep negating again and again. This is basically a double Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Like, it's quite literally the same thing. The only difference is that instead of being, like, purely proactive, you can only use Lars when your opponent activates a card or effect. So yeah, keep that in mind. You can't just, like, dodge Dark Ruler by chaining, like, one of your spells or traps, and then chaining the Lars. It doesn't work exactly like Hot Red, but close enough. It's still an Omni-Negate. It still negates monstrous spells or trap cards, which is very good. But yeah, you negate that, and then your opponent can go for another card that you can negate again. So yeah, we have a lot of Omni-Negates. It's actually really insane, and we're not even remotely close to being done. We still have 3 more interruptions because we can go Flamberge into IP, and then IP effect into SP, banish a card, and then of course the SP has a Farfa effect. And then the Flamberge is going to be summoning 2 monsters from the graveyard, which gets us an insane follow-up. So we can recycle back a card and special summon, or revive back, that gets us a search, and then that can either recycle back or special summon from grave, and then that gets us another search. And then the Promethean Princess can destroy a monster when it's summoned. So that's going to be another interruption. And then, of course, we still have the double Farfa effect of SP Little Knight, which is also extremely annoying to deal with. So yeah, even if our opponent can finally play the game after all this time, there is no way we're getting OTK through, like, all this. After all these negates from one single card. It's not even like you have to, like, rely on anything else. And again, another thing, the graveyard effect of Mega Chirila, I don't even care, level 1 guy. You can banish it and then attach an Evilzor, up to 2 reptile and or dinosaur monsters from your hand or grave with different names as materials to your Evilzor monsters. So Lars is going to be getting another negate that you can use to negate something, and then we can easily go for game here. So obviously every path leads to Rome. OT King is almost too easy, but the Raging Phoenix into Zealantis combo is insane. So yeah, we can banish everything and then summon everything back. And then since a monster was special summoned to our opponent's field, even if he's not the one to special summon, we can revive back the Promethean Princess and then destroy a fire. And since a fire was destroyed, we can revive back the Raging Phoenix. And then on the battle phase, we can destroy cards on the field equal to the number of Cooling monsters, in this case 2, because of Promethean Princess and Zealantis. And that is way more than enough to kill your opponent. Again, with one single card, I never had to rely on anything else. Like, I drew a card for turn, I searched 2 cards with my Snake Eye monsters, and I still had 3 other cards before, and none of them mattered. So that's actually ridiculous. All that with 1 card. Yeah, and you can play around Nibiru. No worries, that's what I will be covering in combo number 2. Alright, Yak Sign, what happens if you get Nibiru'd? Well, I mean, let's just say you have Snake Eye Ash, and you have either original Sinful Spell Snake Eye, or the field spell doesn't really matter too much. Look at what you can do, but make sure that you sequence your cards correctly, because otherwise, by summon number 5, you might not have the setup required, and you might lose to Nibiru. So, everything that I do, you have to do in the exact same order, otherwise it's not gonna work. But yeah, normal summon the Ash, and then get your Populace, obviously, and then Populace is going to be searching its, special summon, and then you're going to be searching the missing card that you don't have. So Field Spell plays the Flamberge, and then original Sinful Spell Snake Eye summon the Mega Chirila, and then Populace plays itself, and then transform into Rios. So that is summon number 4, if I recall correctly, because we had summon number 1, Populace summon number 2, and then summon number 3 was the baby guy, and then this is summon number 4. And we're going to be using the effect to set the Evo Singularity, so now even if we get nibbed, this can still summon the Evilzor Lars with 2 materials, which is insane. But now we're going to be summoning an Oak with the effect of Ash, and then revive back the Ash, and this is where we can threaten Nib 100% guaranteed, because we're using the effect of Leos in order to target 2 monsters to make them level 4 dinosaur. And this is threatening Evilzor Dolka, so that we can negate the Nibiru, and our opponent can absolutely not tolerate that. So he has forced the Nibiru here, otherwise we can just go Oak, send the Flamberge, summon a monster, and then Flamberge effect. But even if we get nibbed here, it is completely fine, because we're going to be getting a token, and the field spell will be summoning the Flamberge from the spell and trap zone. And now we can link off the Flamberge into a Masquerena, summon 2 monsters, and you can kind of see where this is going. Promethean Princess, revive back the Flamberge, put the Masquerena in the spell and trap zone, and instead of going into a Sunlight Wolf or an Amlo Whale like a dumbass, we're going to be going into a Raging Phoenix, and then into Zealantis, and then banish everything on the board, revive back the Flamberge and the Zealantis, put the Nibiru face down or face up, it doesn't matter, Promethean Princess from grave, and then destroy that, and then summon back the Raging Phoenix, and then go into a Sunlight Wolf. We really have to get rid of that Nibiru, otherwise it might threaten the Evo Singularity, and that is not, well, the Evilzor Lars summoned off of Singularity, so it being a 3000 attack monster is an inconvenience. But now we are completely fine, and whenever our opponent summons anything, we can go Field Spell summon the Masquerena anyway, so we don't even have to rely on Flamberge for that. And the Sunlight Wolf can still be summoned to get us a recycle back. So yeah, now our opponent summons the Ash, not gonna matter, we can summon the Masquerena, and then Populace summon itself, search. I can go Promethean Princess to destroy even the other monster, which is insane, so that instead of having to destroy the Populace so that my opponent gets a card, I can banish it with the SP. And another really cool play that I just did, I do not have to successfully destroy my monster in order to summon back my Promethean Princess. It tries to resolve as much as possible. It's not a destroy both, it's a destroy them. So even if I link it off with the Masquerena into an SP, as long as I destroy one monster, the Promethean Princess can still summon itself back. So now I have 3 Cooling monsters, which makes the Zealantis even more dangerous. I still have my 2 negates with the Lars. Even if my opponent can summon a 3K attack monster and jump over my monsters, I can destroy them with the World Sea Dragon Zealantis, as I have a triple pop on the battle phase. Again, it doesn't target. That is a little filthy, and I still have the Farfa-esque effect of SP Little Knight. Like, how can you lose? Nibiru was not enough, nothing is enough, this deck is too good. Anyways, let's get into the deck profile now. Alrighty, so for the deck list, I mean, there's a lot of ways to approach this, but I wanted to have as many good searchers and, well, starters as possible, as well as a bunch of hand shops, obviously. So for the starters, I'm on 3 Diabell Star and 3 Wanted, and 3 Snake Eye Ash, as well as 3 Bonfire, so these 2 cards are the really good ones. And then Diabell Star and Wanted, I mean, it still works, but not in a really good way, and you might have to rely on one other extender or make your board worse, because you're always going to have one less body if you go straight into Diabell Star. And the reason for that is because these combos do not involve Populace, unless, like, you're going Snake Eye, original Sinful Spell Snake Eye, summon the Ash, and then surge the Populace, and then normal summon, well, I mean, special, and then surge the Field Spell, but it's not going to be doing that much. So yeah, if you want to, like, normal summon the Evil Tile Mega Chirilla, it's just a little less good, obviously, because then you're missing something. But if you have the Field Spell, then it doesn't matter, so who cares? But yeah, these are the really good combos. And then 2 Populace, I mean, it's a Takatumborg, but sometimes I mean, on its own, it's still a 3 Interruptions, so it doesn't suck. Dramatic Chase with the Trap card, really insane with the Diabell Star. That's a given, but a lot of people are not playing that for some reason. They're prioritizing, like, Jet Synchro and Synchro plays, which I will cover in another video, so make sure you smash the like and subscribe button if you want that. Yeah, 2 original Sinful Spell Snake Eye, you can also play 3, it's a good card. Double Flamberge, just because of the Field Spell, otherwise I would only play 1, most likely. 1 Snake Eye Oak, you don't really need to, it's really easy to recycle back with the Sunlight Wolf. If it's in the Banish, then you can't recycle it back, because we don't have the Blazing Flame Tongue. So yeah, try to not get this card banished. Easier said than done, but whatever. You're gonna be fine. If your other Snake Eyes get banished, it's fine. You can recycle them with the banished, from the banished with the Oak. But yeah, anyways, for the Evo engine, you can actually side them instead of main decking them. It's 4 cards, so double Garnet, quote-unquote, Evos or Leos. If you draw 1, you can still combo. If you draw 2, you're screwed. And if you draw 1, I mean, you're not going to be able to use the Foolish effect, because you do have to send from the deck to the grave in order to use its effect. And the Evil Tile Mega Chirilla is a Takatumborg, it's not a Garnet. If you draw it, it's fine. Same thing with the Evo Singularity. It's just that they're not really good going second, so if you want to, you can just put them in the side deck, and then instead of, like, anti-spell, you have, like, these cards that just complement your engine and make you always have access to them. So that makes a lot of sense, and you could also play, like, Cross Out and diversify your hand shops. There's a lot of approaches to this deck, no problem. But yeah, Talents and Combat the Grave, so you don't lose too hard to hand shops, and then obviously the Sinful Spells Habitual Silvera. You already have Omni Negates in the form of Lagia and Lars, so I guess you don't really need the Silvera that much, but it's still a very good card. And the Field Spell in order to play around Nibiru or through Nibiru a little more convincingly. Now for the extra deck, I'm on 1 Evozor Lars, which has to be there. Now, between Lagia and Dulka, I don't really recommend playing both because the extra deck space is relatively tight. But if you want to, you can play both. Otherwise, you can just choose one of the 2. It's not the end of the world. Dulka only negates monster effects, but it's not once per turn. So you can detach twice to negate 2 effects. And you can negate Nibiru, so it can be like a very good card even going first. Lagia, it negates spell or trap cards, or the normal or special summon of a monster. But it does have to detach 2 materials, so that is the issue. Now for the Link monsters, I'm on 1 World Sea Dragon Zealantis for the OTK, as well as Raging Phoenix, double Prothean Princess, because sometimes the first one gets hit by Soul Release, Heat Soul with Hita, Sunlight Wolf, double SP with IP, Link Kribo, and Relinquished Anima, because obviously you're playing so many level 1 monsters, it makes a lot of sense to play these cards. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck, and for the side deck, 3 Ghost Bell for big welcome, so that you're never losing too hard to Labyrinth, even though it's not that bad of a matchup. But if you play like too many bad cards like Nibiru, Imper, and Veiler, you might actually lose game 1, so that's why you still have to be like, you still have to respect that matchup and have like Ghost Bell and Cosmic Cyclone so you don't lose too hard to it. Joel and Logbird for the combo decks, but you don't really need it when you already have Nibiru. Nibiru and Joel are interchangeable, so you can play one or the other. This is really just a suggestion. It's not an actual real side deck that you have to copy. Soul Release, I mean, it's a good one, but you can also just afford not to play this card since you're also on the approach of playing a lot of hand shops. If you want to, you can play more copies of Triple Tactic Talents. That also works. Cosmic Cyclone, I would always keep this card. It's insane. One of the best cards in the side deck, if not the best for the upcoming format. And then Anti-Spell, which is also a very good card. going first only. But again, it's between Anti-Spell or the Evo engine if you know for a fact that you're going first post game 1. So it's really up to you. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.